Welcome back to the Slightly Better Orange Peeler channel. So, in today's, I'm going to show you a few variations and why we're here. Originally, I created this channel because, to be perfectly honest, I created it for my dad. He liked watching videos of stuff his kids were doing, and I had a few projects that were taking a really long time to finish, and I thought, I need to make something that I can just do on a regular basis that I just put out there, and he likes watching gadgets and stuff, so I'll put something like that together. But then I started thinking, it's an interesting concept that you could take something like an orange peeler and try to improve it for no reason at all and actually make significant progress. And so that's where we're at right now. These are improvements on orange peelers. So this is, I believe, this would be version 23. I think that would put this one at version 21 roughly of the orange peeler. Now this particular one, the design is, it has these little blades, little shaped blades here that cut into it, and in theory will cut a strip. And then you flip it over and you push it this way to peel that strip off. Now the intent behind this is to create an orange peeler that anyone can use that is safe and extremely good at removing the skin from an orange. And that's it. That's the whole thing I'm going for there. It's got to be safe, easy to use for anyone of any age, and very good at removing the skin. So here is, I believe this would be version 21. Now, some of these have a little area at the front, and the reason for that, I can find that piece. I do not see the piece. Is originally I designed a thing that would snap into this front piece here like this, and it would allow you to remove the core by twisting it like this. But so far, that's been a fairly ineffective technique, and I'm not sure I'm going to keep it. So it disappears in one of the later versions. Might come back to it, not sure. So 21, let me show you what this did. You place it here, you start to push. As you can see, the blades cut into it, and they do a pretty good job. The problem is that, and see it cuts a neat little strip like that. The problem is that on some oranges, it was really, really hard to get it to do this. The four blades effectively, while they do a good job of what they're supposed to be doing here, on tougher oranges, they basically just get stuck. And the reason is because you're adding you have basically 4 points where you are creating drag and friction inside the orange. And so if you are infinitely strong, then it doesn't matter, right? But if you're not, if you have limited strength of any sort, the more points of drag that you have, the harder it is for this to actually cut through it. So it can be more efficient if you're stronger, but if you have any kind of disability, anything that would cause you to have issues pushing something very difficult, even slightly difficultly, even slightly. What's the right word? Not sure what word I'm looking for. My point is, you don't have to be super strong to use an orange peeler, but with some of the tougher orange peels, this actually did become more difficult to use. It just became more difficult to use. I'm fairly sure that people who had motor issues would have problems using this. So we skip ahead. So that was roughly 21. 22 came along. I moved it to a single set of blades, and what I found was it was much easier to move it across. And And so that was a pretty nice one, pretty nice find there. Now originally I thought this would be more efficient. That's why I did the double ones. But efficiency really doesn't work when it doesn't always work. Efficiency isn't always the king there, because if something is difficult to do efficiently, then it's really not that efficient, is it? So that's what's going on with that one. The 4 blades was out, 2 blades was in. I also changed the way this top part here worked. Originally I thought if it's like this, you could push it like this and it just pulls the skin right off. But then I thought, wait. What if it had little blades along the side so that again it could catch underneath and pull out? And that worked okay, but I don't know if it actually worked better. So then we arrived somewhere around here. This is version 23. Again, we moved back to this design. Again, kept the single blades though. This was a very easy one to move along the surface of some of the oranges, but it didn't always do a good job of cutting into the surface that well, into the skin. So this was number 23. Let's see, 24 came along. That would be this one. On this one, you'll notice I redid the little blades so they're more of hooks. And what I found with that was that it actually worked a lot better, and it was a lot less effort to get this to initially dig into the skin. The problem with this was these are actually quite large, these hooks, and you'll notice they are significantly larger than the skin is. So I think this would be 24, 25, somewhere around there. That's this one. That's out. Here is the newer one. This would be, I think this is roughly 20. Let's see, this is 20. So this is going to roughly 26, 27, one of those. The problem is, a few of these I was showing to people, they really liked them and they kept them. And I didn't mean to give them out before I made the video. So I'm missing like 3 versions of this. Okay, but this one has, you'll notice, a slightly smaller, but it's a slightly lower, but longer blade. And this worked pretty well. And also, one other interesting thing was I realized I did this backward. These blades initially were going this way, so you'd push it this way. And my thinking was you'd put your finger underneath it like this to push. And this was the original way that I had you doing it. But I kept holding it like this, and it never occurred to me that I was just, unintentionally doing it a way that felt more natural than this. And this looked okay, but this was how I was actually using it. So I flipped the blades around somewhere around 23, I think. You can see these blades go this way, and now they go the opposite direction. And so this is, I want to say this was 26. And as you can see, the hook goes right in. It's real easy to use. It pulls along the surface just like that. Very easy. Very little effort to make that work. All right, but the problem is, again, the blade's a little bit too big. And this whole thing was just a little bulkier than it needed to be, because I wasn't putting my finger through it anymore. So then I came up with another design, which someone kept. And then this is the current one. This is version 28. And on this one, we have a single small hook here. And you can compare it to some of the older ones and the original ones. You can see that it's longer, but it's significantly lower. And this is actually, and I changed this so it has like a kind of a nose. You hold it on the nose. And this is actually really easy to use. But I think the current issue for me with this one is it feels like I've got the blade in the slightly wrong position. So while it is easy to use, and the easiest of all of these to use. It's also, it feels unbalanced. I think I might need to pull the blade back a few centimeters maybe. Anyway, that's the current version, and I'm going to try moving the blade back for the next version. And I might see, it doesn't always go into the skin that well. When it does, it works great. So I need to look at the blade design. I'm calling it a blade. It's more like a tiny little pokey hook at this point. And the other problem is I took the back end, or the front end, off of this one, and I realize now the error of my ways, because that was what I would then use when I flip it over to do the next part. So normally I'd just flip it over and go like this, but I don't have that. And also, as you can see in this one, the blade was too thick and it cut straight through. So I need to think about the blade a little bit more, and I am, as always, interested in your suggestions. And that brings us up to version number 28 of the slightly better orange peeler. Thanks. I hope you have a great day. Oh, another reason that I'm doing this is you can create, I've noticed in my own life that it's very easy to get the inertia of not doing things and not finishing things, and just kind of get comfortable in the grind of doing work without actually finishing the projects. And so that's another big reason to do something like this, is to just push myself, motivate myself to do a thing that I can finish, one step at a time, and then have a thing that I consider a stopping point, which is, does it work for this orange? Well, when I finish peeling the orange, it's done, and then I can stop there and decide whether or not this design worked. And then I put a video out. I have officially done a thing, and I can get back in the habit of finishing projects as opposed to just working on them. So hopefully something like that will help you if you are stuck on trying to finish things. Just find something you can finish and try to finish it regularly and see if that helps. All right, have a great day. I'm going to go eat this orange. Pretty good looking orange.